When it's someone's birthday, there's usually birthday cake involved, and everyone gets a piece of the cake. It's one of the best parts of the party. But the cake belongs to the person being celebrated, but they choose to share it with everyone so everyone can enjoy some. But let me ask you this, who gets the first piece of cake? The first piece is special. So the person being celebrated gets the first piece of cake. I mean, they are sharing their cake with you, so it makes sense that the person being celebrated deserves the first piece. It matters who gets the first, but not just at a birthday party. The book of Proverbs tells us about someone that deserves the first, and it's not a birthday girl or boy. It says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth. Give him the first share of all your crops. Then your storerooms will be so full they can't hold everything." Okay, so who did it say to honor? God. This verse is saying that when we give God the first, everything else gets blessed. When the birthday girl or boy gets the first piece of cake, they feel so honored and celebrated. And when we give God the first, it's honoring and celebrating him. And just like after the birthday girl or boy get their first piece of cake, then everyone else gets a piece of cake, when we give God the first, he actually blesses everything else that we have. So we give God the first because he will bless the rest, but we also give him the first because it's all his anyway. Psalm 24:1 says, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it." Everything belongs to Jesus. Because he chooses to share his stuff with us, that's actually a really big deal and so kind of him. He's so generous with us. So he definitely deserves the first. If there was just one thing from today that you could remember, I would want it to be this: God deserves the first. Okay, so how do we do this though? How do we give God the first? Well, let's think about treasures on earth for a second. With money, we can do something called tithing. This is when we give God the first 10% of the money that we have. We can do this with offering at church. So like if you did chores and you earned $10, giving God the first 10% would be giving him $1 in the offering. Or maybe you don't have money, that's okay. You can give God the first of your time. So when you wake up in the morning, you can spend time with God first by talking to him. Or even with your toys and stuff, you can share it. Everything belongs to Jesus, but he chooses to share it with us. And when we choose to share it with others, it's a big deal. God deserves the first. So this week, how will you give God your first?